Okay. Gentlemen, that was your package, and apparently he's pissed, with a capital pissed, because you apparently are doing some things that are totally jacking up your junk. As a dude, I'm assuming that you love your junk like I do. I want to take care of it. I want to nurture it. I want to make sure it is happy. Gentlemen, if you agree, drop me one of these and be like, yo, Alpha, you bet your sweet ass I love my boys. Today, I'm going over 6 manly mistakes most men make that is totally sabotaging your junk's ability to be as amazing, as big, as strong, as sexy, as manly as it should be. Oh, and at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you a natural supplement that I take, that you can take, that will absolutely give you the best, most amazing you've ever had. The first manly mistake you may be making that is damaging your ability to get a really good one, if you know what I'm talking about, is you're vegan. Let me explain. It's not the fact that you're vegan, it's what veganism can potentially produce, which is a vitamin D deficiency. The vitamin D deficiency equals bad news for Big Al, right? Sometimes you might not be able to do your thing because you're deficient in vitamin D. They have found that vitamin D is incredibly important for the health of Big Al. Why? Because of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a compound that your blood vessels need in order to maximize their ability to maximize, if you know what I mean. And what they have found is that although eating a lot of fruits and vegetables is amazing and have lots of health benefits, when you cut out all animal products, it's really hard to get enough vitamin D without actually supplementing. Unfortunately, just getting out into the fresh air and the sunlight isn't necessarily enough to combat a vitamin D deficiency, especially if you're not eating foods like fatty fish like salmon or eating eggs and dairy, which are packed full of vitamin D. And even if you're not vegan, I would recommend supplementing your diet with a vitamin D3 supplement, all right? 5,000 IUs a day is optimal. What did you think D stood for? Which brings us to the second manly mistake a lot of you are doing, which is eating shitty food. When you consistently eat crappy food that affects your heart and clogs arteries, it restricts the blood flow to it. And so you're like, yo, what's going on, gentlemen? And they're like, yo, eat better, stupid. The other downside to eating a shitty diet, right, is that you gain a little bit of fat. Now, when you gain a little bit of fat, it's not a big deal. When you gain a lot of fat or fat down in the area around your penis, you can develop what is known as a hidden penis. Whoop. Let me explain. This is your penis. This is your body. And as you gain fat, right, what happens exactly? Your body fat pushes out, making your weenie a little bit small. By a little bit, it can literally like disappear and like go in your body. And so one way to prevent that is to lose fat and eat a better diet, stupid. The third manly mistake that most men make is you're wearing the wrong underwear. Scrotum is a genius, right? It knows that it's got a job to do. All day, your scrotum is working overtime. It's on the job making sure that it stays a perfect temperature, right? And so if you're super hot, bang, it wants to get them away from your hot ass body. If you're cold, bang, up to your body, right? To keep them nice and warm. It's all about protecting the integrity of your sperm. But if you're wearing like super tight underwear, preventing your scrotum from doing what it does, which is this all day long, making sure that your testes are straight. The other problem with standard underwear is that it packs everything together. It's a meaty mess down your pants. And what happens? You start moving, you start chasing, spicy senoritas, all of a sudden it starts to heat up. It starts to get a little warmer, a little moist. It starts to smell. Gentlemen, you gotta stop the madness and treat yourself to the best and only underwear that touches and, I should say, cradles the alpha nuts. Sheath, today's video sponsor and the only underwear that I've been wearing. Gentlemen, here's the deal. If you are looking to upgrade and take your underwear game to the next level, stay drier, stay more comfortable, stop stinky nuts and all sorts of man meat sausage packed in your pants, gentlemen, you gotta hit that link down below and check out Sheath. From the outside, Sheath just look like normal, super sexy, badass underwear, right? Except the fabric is softer than any underwear you've ever worn. But the beauty and the magic is actually on the inside. See that pouch? That pouch actually is where your testicles sit. And then there's a little hole. Can you see the little hole? That is where your actual penis actually goes through. You're separating your testicles and your penis. Creating the separation not only is incredibly comfortable, it's preventing things from getting all sweaty and itchy and chafy. Like all great inventions, Sheath was developed out of necessity. Robert, he is a soldier, right? He was over in the desert. He'd be walking around and he was getting super chafed and irritated and sweaty. was crazy uncomfortable because everything was packed in his pants. And so he started experimenting. He's like, if I separated things, I would be cooler. And so he started like cutting up socks. And what he ended up doing was creating something totally unique, totally special, and something that you are going to love. Guys, Sheath underwear, I know it sounds a little bit weird, right? Because that was the first thing I had to get over. I'm like, it sounds weird. Is it going to be comfortable, guys? As soon as I put them on, I knew that I couldn't go back. Gentlemen, once you try a pair of Sheath underwear, there's no going back because no other underwear are going to keep you drier, more comfortable, and it's all about the separation. To mention, Sheath underwear make you look gigantic. I think it's because of the separation, and that probably wasn't his goal, but it's one of the fortunate consequences that has happened. Gentlemen, there's going to be a link down below. If you want to go check out Sheath, there's also going to be a discount code. They've got a ton of different styles, different lengths. Guys, black, white, gray, you name it, they've got it, and you are going to freaking love it. The fabric is so crazy, super soft. They're just awesome. They're super sexy. They look badass. Not to mention, honestly, and this is kind of weird, they're fun to put on. It's kind of fun, like separating everything. Of course, they've got a fly, so you can just like do your business, guys. I'm telling you, these underwear are next level. And if you don't have a pair, you are doing your boys a disservice. Okay, I'll tell him. Gentlemen, that was your package again. He said, stop dicking around, pun intended. Hit the link, use the code, and grab him a pair of Sheath today. Fourth, manly mistake that you may have made, you may be thinking about making, you may be making, but are about to stop making, which is taking steroids. In terms of steroid downside, right? I'm gonna hit you with one big one, and that actually it's small now because it is testicular atrophy. So let me see if I can explain this. So like I said earlier, your testicles are little geniuses, right? And one of their jobs as geniuses is to make testosterone. And it knows, yo, I gotta make testosterone so Brian can be awesome. Well, if Brian then decides, you know what, I want to be big and jacked and look super sexy, I'm going to take steroids. I'm going to take a synthetic testosterone. Testicles are like, yo, wait a second. You're telling me I don't need to work as hard, right? Obviously I don't because I've got enough, and so I'm going to go take a siesta by the pool. There's some spicy senoritas I want to go check out. And so your testicles leave. They leave the building, resulting in them getting smaller. The fifth manly mistake is something that I've experienced when I was younger, and I'm sure that a lot of you young dudes who are out there have possibly experienced as well, and that is what is known as blue balls. So let me see if I can explain this whole phenomenon of blue balls, right? So there you are, making out with the super sassy girl Janice, right? You met her and you're like, oh man, oh mama, right? You're making out, heavy petting and all sorts of stuff, right? But you don't actually do it, meaning like it doesn't erupt. It gets excited and then it gets unexcited, and then it might get excited again and a little bit later, right? It's this prolonged like excitement not happening, excitement not happening. So it's like fluid buildup, right? And you're like, oh God, and later on you're like, oh damn, it's starting to hurt, right? Well, the only thing you really technically need to do is release the kraken. Release the hounds! You know what I'm talking about, whether or not you do that yourself or you end up finishing your thing with old what's-her-face, gentlemen. It's all about relieving the pressure. And last but certainly not least, the sixth manly mistake that unfortunately a lot of you dudes make is not manscaping properly. Shave your testicles with a clean blade. Gentlemen, the best way to do it, get in the shower, lather up, grab your penis, hold it up, and then, you know, right, start at the top and work down. Hold it up and shave down, going down, short little strokes, making sure that you rinse your blade to make sure everything is clean, neat, and tidy. And when you're finished, guys, you want to make sure that you exfoliate everything properly, and then use a moisturizer to make sure the skin is soft, supple, and incredible. All right, so now, like I promised, gentlemen, I would like to share with you a natural supplement that has made a dramatic impact on the dramatic nature of my, made them amazing, and that is L-arginine, all right? It's an amino acid, totally natural, and once again, we talked earlier about nitric oxide, right? And one of the issues with vitamin D deficiency and all that good stuff. L-arginine is the amino acid that actually makes nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the molecule that's actually responsible for blood flow in your wiener when you start to get aroused. L-arginine is the most common ingredient that is found in like sexual supplements. Supplements designed to like, oh, and make you, oh my God, amazing. Well, I'm telling you, gentlemen, it works. And so for me, every night before I go to bed with my other supplements, I will pop 2 of these bad boys, and the result has been what? Better, so wing better.